It's just a. This is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get when you try to steal a half human, half lamb baby thing that was born in your barn because you lost your real child years ago and you're trying to cope. Lamb is an A24 Icelandic slow burn drama, kind of marketed as horror adjacent movie from 2021. So it's not new. I've officially hit a point where there's like nothing in theaters that is really speaking to me to go watch. So I had to hop into my my Apple TV and check out some things that I've had saved for a while that I've been meaning to watch. And I had some time today, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch the movie with the sheep person baby. So this movie follows a husband and a wife who live on a farm property somewhere. I think it's in Iceland. Some beautiful cinematography, some really cool sweeping landscape shots with like snow-capped mountains that help to prop the movie up a little bit. So this married couple are sheep farmers. They have just a barn full of sheep. There is a family dog and a family cat, and they're very sad, these two people. There's a lot of awkward conversation and weird dinner scenes where they just kind of like are both sitting there chewing and they're not saying anything to each other. Becomes pretty apparent early on that they are dealing with some sort of loss, and you do discover early on that they have lost a child. Now, this is where things get weird. So the film opens with a perspective shot. We are viewing the world through the eyes of something that is moving across a snow-swept landscape at nighttime. We pass by some horses, and the horses freak out as the whatever we're following gets close to them, and they run away. And then this thing goes into the sheep barn of our main married couple. There's some really effective, I don't know if this like barnyard animal horror, where you're watching like the reactions of the sheep in this barn as they all panic and they try to they're trying to jump over one another, and they're clamoring to get further away from the entrance of the barn as this thing comes in. And then we cut to a shot of the hallway of the barn. We can't see any of the sheep anymore. And then one of the stall doors swings open, and a sheep comes out and just sort of falls to the ground and is breathing weird. And then we hard cut to the next day. The husband and the wife are, doing their rounds on the farm. There's a few sheep that they have to help give birth. And then at some point, the wife goes back into the barn and realizes that there's another sheep that's pregnant that they didn't notice. And this is the one, of course, that I guess was affected by the thing in the beginning. Gives birth to a little half sheep, half human thing. It's mostly human. It's got like a sheep head and a one sheep arm, and the rest of it is human. And then the entire middle section of the film is basically just this husband and this wife raising this thing. At some point, the husband's brother, there's a shot where there's a car there's like four people in a car driving down this long dirt road that presumably ends up leading to the farm property. And then this car just like starts turning around in the middle of the street. They throw a dude out of the car and then they leave. And then this dude walks all the way to the farmhouse and then sleeps in the barn. And then you find out the next day that it's the husband's brother. Thought that was weird. I'm like, what a weird... He just gets dumped out of a vehicle. You learn that the brother is kind of a... he's one of those guys in the family who, he's always owing someone money. He doesn't have a family of his own. I don't even think he has any type of employment. He's just like a bit of a drifter kind of character who they make it seem like he's had to stay with this married couple before. He tries to put moves on the wife throughout the film, and they kind of imply that maybe there was some sort of romantic past between the wife and the brother. The brother adds a bit of tension to their little family dynamic with Abby, that is the sheep human thing. The brother initially, thinks this thing is a monster. There's a scene where he like kind of kidnaps it during the nighttime or the early morning, and he takes it out into the field and he's just pointing a gun at the thing's face like he's gonna kill it. He doesn't. And there's lots of just animals behaving weird. Like the family cat is very sketched out by Abby initially. So the movie kind of like, it keeps hinting like something freaky is going to start happening with Abby. And then nothing ever happens. So for me, A24 movies fall into two categories. You have like the Hereditaries, movies that are like good to great. And then category 2 of A24 are movies that are just like, they're just too slow burn, too abstract. In this movie was that, where it's like, I think this, because the ending is really cool, and I'm going to stick to my rule of my channel, which is I don't like to spoil much about movies, even though this one is a few years old. Some really cool stuff in the beginning. The ending is a nice little, it's not even a payoff because they don't explain really anything, but it is quite of like a jarring ending. It was good. But the entire middle of the sandwich for this movie is just, there's just a whole lot of not much happening. Like if the big moments are like, oh, the brother tried to kiss the wife again. Okay. Doesn't ever go anywhere. The dog gets sketched out by the one sheep who gives birth to the half human, half sheep. The mother, she keeps coming by the house and like, they don't bark, they bleat. She keeps going to the house and making noise, and this pisses off the wife, who at some point just shoots the mother and then goes and buries her body somewhere on the property. And so the ending does kind of feel like the message of the film. I sat there after this was done and I was just like, why is this a thing? Why is this movie a thing? I believe the overall message is just, well, it does touch on family grief because the married couple had lost their real child. And so when they find Abby in the barn, they go, this is our therapy replacement child. And they never question it. They just start raising this thing. And they don't even really ever talk about it. There's no conversation of like, Hey, what the hell, man? Why did that sheep give birth to this thing? They don't ever question it. They just take it and start raising it. So that could be a theme, you know, trauma and grief. And then part two, and this especially ties into the ending, is that you know, it's the limits of humans trying to control or steal from nature, trying to play God, manipulate the natural order. And the movie is suggesting that you can never do that without paying some sort of price or toll. And that's it. So this, unfortunately for me, this is going to be the first thumbs down. All my reviews are it's just binary. It's either a thumbs up, I would recommend it to human beings, or a thumbs down, I would not recommend it to human beings. And this is going to be a thumbs down for me. I don't know who in my life I would go, you should go watch Lamb. And I'm not saying it's just a bad movie. I'm just saying it's just a movie where not a whole lot happens during the middle 80%. I would say the first 10 and the last 10% of the film are fun, and you're like, ooh, okay. This would have worked really well, I think, as like a short. If this was like a half hour, yeah, like a half hour short film where you could keep your beginning, keep your ending, and then just chop the shit out of the middle to just the interesting moments, you might have something here. But they didn't. I don't even know if I can. Usually I talk about like music. I don't remember any of the music. I don't even know if there was music in the movie. The performances felt very unremarkable. The lead woman is Numi Rapace or Rapace, or maybe it's Naomi is how you pronounce it. It's spelled Numi. I thought maybe like she's probably the best one. But it's just nothing to write home about. So overall, it's just a big meh kind of a movie. But I had to get rid of it. I had to knock it off the list. I have a couple more like obscure horror movies that are in my watch list that I might do. And a part of me also feels like maybe I should stop doing so many horror movies and do something else. Like I'll go watch the new Jurassic Park or something, but I don't really want to. I don't want to watch Jurassic Park. It's not for me. Lamb, sorry to say it. It's a thumbs down from me, dog. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.